first one in the section. Fit the runner, boy, you nigga, no question. You would run a motherfucker high stepping. Hey, you never had a big enough weapon. Motherfucker never learned your lesson. I'm an 88 pack nigga, woof. I'm an 88 pack nigga, woof. I mean, day walker, drink blood, trains out, full moon, motherfucker, change like a hoe, nigga. I'm just a nigga from the hood, tryna stack a little cheddar for the money.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. Lightweight. Lightweight, baby. It's time to bleed this morning. Drew Titan Bronx on deck. Shout out to the mighty LDBC. Let's do this roll call real quick, because there's a lot of things I want to cover. G. McCall, Vince Valborn, Dow Big G, Anwar Willis, Michael Ray, Rod Neal, the Sensei Stormy B-Man in the building, Rick C. MP, I got to chill on that button, brother. I'm going to chill on that button. We on the spotlight, but salute to you, good brother. The Audacity Podcast in the building, salute. Real Spill Midwest Boxing, Michael Ray, Todd Swindle, ES, Tim TV, Jerome Truitt. Salute, 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 man. Smash the like button. This morning's topic is, I appreciate when I watch all the other brothers' material, and I'm like, you know what, Dad? I was gonna talk about that anyway, because we know we're all on the same wavelength. BFTV's live yesterday was excellent, man. And I said, man, he nailed it when he was talking about what's said about our fighters. Completely on point, because these are things that we've been talking about for a long time. But if the machine and what you see on this page are representatives of the machine, if the machine is in support of your favorite fighter, then you're not in the line of fire. You're okay. But everything is okay until it's what? Not okay. You see, all we've been doing the whole time is we wanted the best fighters to fight each other. And when it gets to the point where you have two guys that are belt holders and we're one fight away from undisputed or a really good unification fight, it's funny how the favorite, the media favorite, and what you see on these fellas on the left-hand side, and if you don't know who they are, I'll tell you who they are in a minute. If they back the favorite fighter, casuals will listen to these dudes, read their articles, and come to our comment section with their quotes trying to sound smart, but they've done no internal research. DP Rocker, Tay-Tay, the cartoons that made us, salute. And it's these guys that write and have these articulate quotes that arm casuals and come to our comment sections and they try and sound smart. But here's the thing, and I'm talking to the casuals right now. Eric Jordan, salute. I'm talking to the casuals. I need you to understand this, especially you black casuals. I'm talking to you, knuckle draggers. Jose, salute. I'm talking to you guys. I'm talking to you knuckle draggers that listen to these dudes. And sometimes you'll read something, you don't even know that it's these dudes that wrote it. You don't know what we know. Cortez, what's good? And here's the thing. They know what we know. But their job is to push a narrative. NBA D Nice, salute. Their job is to push a narrative. You know, like what they say about us all the time when we upload a video. Oh, yo, you trying to push a narrative. Oh, yeah, narrative. Oh, it's a narrative. These guys right here do this for a living. They have a boss. And if they are independent, they have to check the temperature of what's going on in boxing. And they say, okay, this guy's a favorite. Okay, let me sneak this his potential opponent and big up the other guy. That's strategic. From what I understand, with the exception of Chris Williams, which is the only black man on this page right here, that's Chris Williams on the left-hand side, the lower left. That's Chris Williams. And he's going to be on the Summer Jam screen this morning. Because how dare you? If I'm not mistaken, all of these dudes are journalists. I mean, like, they've actually... I haven't done any real research. Let me not say that. But for them to be working for, like, Fox or ESPN or Showtime at one point, I believe that they have some, they've actually gone to school for journalism. Now, here's the thing. Journalists, if I'm not mistaken, Mansa Musa, salute. Journalists, they have a responsibility to report the news on an unbiased manner. I believe so. Don't quote me on that. Just look it up. I would think they would. But you see what's going on in the political arena? MSNBC, CNN, Fox, or what I call faux news. There was a big old thing a few years ago. Keith Olbermann on MSNBC, he contributed to the Obama campaign. He put up some money. And they said, look, man, you can't do that. Because you're a journalist. You're a real journalist. You're supposed to be, unbiased, and you're not supposed to take sides. But if you watch the political landscape and you get your news, if you're a Democrat, you watch MSNBC. If you're a Republican, you watch Fox News. Everybody knows that. But then everyone's saying, man, look, all of these guys over there in Fox, they are openly supporting Trump and sending his campaign money. And you know what I found out? To the guys that did do that on Fox, I found out, and this was years ago, those guys weren't journalists by trade. They didn't go to school for it. All of those guys talking on Fox with the biggest mouths, they weren't journalists. You know what that's like, y'all? That's like you buy a book on how to be a parent, and it's a hot-selling book, and this person is giving you all of these lessons and advice, and it's a thick old book. It's the size of Webster's Dictionary. And then you find out the person that wrote that book is not even a parent. It's like, wait a minute. You're not a parent, but you've seen it done a million times, and so you wrote this book and got people following. You don't even have kids. What qualifies you? But it's worse when you're a journalist because you know how to milk the public, and there's no integrity anywhere. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, exactly. Cartoons that made us. It's Steve Harvey type stuff. Yeah, salute. Rick Blackwell. That type of stuff. But what happens is when you have a bunch of casuals and they have a fascination with a particular fighter for whatever reason, man. And I'm not going to go off on that tangent this morning. Just know this. I've seen types of fans, I'd say in the last decade and some change, that are very, very suspect. I'll say that. Tank fans are the worst things I've ever seen because it's exposing, this part is exposing a lot of the Batiman behavior. I thought it was AJ. I thought it wouldn't get any worse than AJ because I'm like, whoa, what is this? but it's Tank by far. So you got Tank fans, Anthony Joshua fans, the Gennady Golovkin fans thought they were smart because it was supported by the narrative of HBO. You had casuals coming up in comment section. I wasn't doing content at that time, but they were coming up in the comment section and arguing that he was indeed on the same level as Marvin Hagler. And all of their talking points was written by guys like this that you see on the page. Let me go through the page. On the bottom right-hand side, that's Dan Raphael, if you've never seen him. To the left of him, the only black man on his page. That is Chris Williams. He writes a lot for Boxing 24/7. I'm going to read to your article, and I'm going to show you what narrative is. The guy in the middle, that's Mike Coppinger. I told the interesting story about him. We was in Vegas for Wilder Fury 3. Myself, the brother Healer, who's in the chat, Tay Jones, Blue Blood, my brother Carolina Rada, and his family was there. Forgetting somebody. Oh, Champside was with us. 704 Joe, salute. Champside was with us. We was in the MGM. It was after the fight. So, you know, we on a bit of a low. So we just sitting there chopping it up. And Mike Coppinger walks up. He had bought some food from a like the restaurant there, and he was with a lady friend of his, and he sits down literally about 10 feet from us. Jeff Sparks, salute. So I saw him, and I know, look, I know what time it is. I looked at him and I said, God, I hope Blue Blood don't see him. And when I looked at Blue Blood, he was already deadlocked on him. And I said, oh boy. So I look at Blue, and Blue light skin, but he turned red right there in front of me. He turned blood. He went from blue to blood right there. He turned flush red. And then he started jaw-jacking at him. And then Tay Jones looked, and you know he light skinned, he turned red. And he just flat out flipped him the bird and kept it out there. And I said, good Lord. Champside looked, and you know, he just kept it player. He just looked, he was like, man. he just sat there. And I'm like, man. And I was just saying, I hope Mike doesn't have a moment where he think that you know, I could just say what I want, because at this point, I'm just gonna tell you it wasn't safe. I'm just sitting there. I looked at him, and he kind of looked out the corner of his eye. He picked up his tray. His lady friend was looking, and I used the term lady friend loosely, because if you ever seen Mike Coppinger, yeah, like that. And listen, Bob, salute. Listen, you can tell by how he walked. In Vegas was the first time I saw him, and I'm like, who's that dude floating? And I said, oh, that's Mike Coppinger? I was like, yo, why he walk like that? He picked up his tray. Didn't even take a bite out of his food. He picked up his tray. He said something to his lady friend, who was a complete and total beard, because it was an overweight white woman. And they walked off. And you know why he was treated like that? Because of what he writes. They accuse Blue Blood of clickbait. I beg to differ. The man on the upper right-hand side, that is Steve Taekwondo Kim. Ramel Lane, salute. That is Steve Taekwondo Kim. I believe he's a Trumper. I read some of his material a few years ago when he used the term woke. And one of the articles that I read, it was code for the N-word, y'all. And I know what I read. And I said, oh, he's on that type of time. And as a matter of fact, Fred from the barbershop pressed him in public. It's on his channel somewhere. He knows him very well, and he called him out on something. And he says, "Oh, come on, Fred, you playing the race card?" He said, "Yeah, you know what you said, da da da." And what did Taekwondo Kim do? That sounds like a whole name, Taekwondo Kim Do. He walked off. He didn't stand on it. So he's one of those. And of course, everyone knows Skip Brainless. Who goes to him for a boxing opinion? He's a professional LeBron James hater, a professional Floyd Mayweather hater, a professional Manny Pacquiao deep blower. But he took wherever the wind blew, that's where he went. We hate Floyd, love Manny, got it. I know what to do. And these are just 5 faces of boxing media. Skip just talks about it when it's in the news. But the rest of these fools, this is what we have to deal with. And they get paid for this. Now, when the pandemic happened, YouTubers weren't suffering. We were on here talking boxing. Well, me not so much. I don't think I was doing was I doing content during the pandemic? No. I started in 2020. But Trill was on. 78 was on. You know what happened to old media? These guys, you know what happened with them? I'll tell you. They started beefing and moaning. I went to school for this. All these YouTubers still making money. These guys was getting laid off. Dan Raphael got laid off. These guys getting laid off. And they were mad at the YouTubers, weren't they? You remember that? You remember when what's her name? She was talking about she gonna have to start her OnlyFans. And guess what? She actually did, by the way. What's her name? Forgot her name. But it was odd because got this little stalker, this dude, we got a Miguel out there. I had put out a Canelo clip, and the person I was asking him a question, I wanted to camouflage his voice. Michelle Joy Phelps, thank you, Sam Mack. And I camouflaged the voice and made it a female voice. It was the Canelo versus Bivol clip that I have. So somebody, one of my little stalkers, one of my little Miguels, tags her on Twitter and says, Drew Titan uses your voice on one of his clips. So again, without investigating, without doing the logical thing, and saying, "Well, tag me in it. Let me hear let me hear what's going on." She automatically threatens Trick Nolte on Twitter. Mitch, what up? She threatened him. If I find you using any of my material, I will get you sued or whatever. Just came at Trick. Trick was like, what? And Trick called me. He was like, yo, man, Michelle Joy Phelps just threatened us. I said, who? What? What did we do to her? And it came out that one of my stalkers told her that I was using her likeliness somewhere. And then she just didn't investigate it. She just threatened Trick. So then Trick got at her. And then the dude was in the chat. The dude was on the thread. Yeah, he can't do that. Get his channel taken down. That would be my opinion. And I said, yeah, this is the ban acronym. BAN. This is the band that told her that, got her all turned up. But, you know, she didn't investigate it, and she's a woman. She's a woman. I'll say it one more time. She's a woman. She didn't do no investigation. You see, you know what men do? Oh, yeah, so-and-so was talking about me? Oh, yeah, well, send me a screenshot. They said something in the chat on their live. Oh, yeah? Well, send me a screenshot. Better yet, go to the video, send me the video, and timestamp it so I can hear it. They said something, he was in the chat talking about me? Oh, yeah, let me go make sure that that was him. I'll investigate it. But like a woman, she believes everything that someone tells her, because, you know, everyone's talking about her, right? Everyone's talking about Michelle Joy Phelps, right? Right. So Trick got at her and was like, yo, we never said anything. We never used anything of you. We never even said your name. What are you talking about? And then the clip that was on my show, Trick sent it to her. He said, yo, you talking about this? He was like, that's not even your voice. And Trick says, well, you know, I think you owe me an apology. We didn't do anything to you. Of course she ain't apologized. I think she did respond saying, oh, okay, well, for future reference. Ain't no future reference, Chick. No one was talking about you. How about saying, yo, my bad? Somebody said something. No, you don't want to admit that you flew off the rails because someone told you that. You don't even know that person. The person's a troublemaker. And fellas, as a bit of information, that's why you don't react when people, especially strangers, tell you things. Check the fruit on the tree. You don't know where the information's coming from. But incidentally, she did start her OnlyFans. And I think it was during the pandemic. I know that someone sent me some pictures. I said, oh. And she wasn't dressed. And it was her. I said, oh, okay. Whatever. And even if it's fake, I don't care. Make your money, girl. I don't care. The pandemic was rough on everybody. The difference is those are options that women had, not men. Anyway. Exactly, Sam Mac. F that B. No one cares. Who goes to her for a boxing opinion? How about that? And there's a lot of faces I could have put up on here. Radio Raccoon. Could have put them up here. Could have put Michelle Joy Phelps up here. There's a bunch of people. But these are just a handful of people that I was able to come up with. So who are you listening to and why? Let's go to the Summer Jam screen. Look at this picture. Let's go to the Summer Jam screen. This is an article from Boxing News 24. And what I want you guys to start doing when you read certain things, and salute to Stormy because he sent this to me. I need you guys to start reading who wrote these things. It's very important. Boxing scene. I notice a lot of the stuff that they put out, and when I'm reading the article, and I'm like, wait a minute, this is not right, and they're putting off something that's not an actual fact. They're promoting it as a fact. And then I'm saying, who's writing this stuff? You know what it says? Boxing scene staff. And I still think that, okay, Kane, what up? I still think that that's worse. First of all, nobody want to put their name on it. The staff ain't write it. Nobody wants to put their name on it. So that's cowardly. That was cowardly in itself. But I think that that's bad because you're saying boxing scene staff. So check this out. That makes the whole company liable for this fugazi information. That's real talk. So let's read this. Canelo to be stripped of IBF title, mega fight ahead. What is he talking about? Written by Chris Williams, the brother in the picture, in the meme. Let's read this as a family, y'all. Unified super middleweight champion Canelo Alvarez will reportedly be stripped of his IBF 168 title ahead of his next title defense against Edgar Berlanga, September 14th at T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. Iron Levant, salute. He shouldn't be fighting Berlanga anyway, and I know Berlanga is ranked high, but there's only one fight we want to see. Now watch this. The IBF title's fate. ESPN reports, now he's putting it on ESPN, that Canelo will lose his IBF title due to his decision not to defend against long overdue mandatory challenger William Skull, a little known fighter that the sanctioned body elevated to the number one spot recently. Skull, 22 wins, no losses, 9 knockouts, has no notable wins on his resume. Keep that word resume in your mind. And it's unclear why he's been moved to mandatory for Canelo. I'm reading it house written, but it's not surprising that he's been ignored. Canelo Skull would be a pay-per-view disaster if that fight happened. I know what you're thinking. Why would Skull be mentioned, and why would he be fighting Berlanga anyway? Benavidez. I know what you're thinking. Let's just go ahead with the article, though. Skull's best career win came against a fighter named Sean Hemphill. Few fans have even heard of him. And you can see why Canelo showed no interest in defending against Skull. Mike Coppinger, he put it on someone else, so now we got ESPN and Coppinger, all right? Mike Coppinger, or Cappinger is what we call him, reports that the IBF belt will be fought over by Skull and number 2 contender Vladimir Shishkin. Whatever. Now watch this. The importance of a dominant win. Now this is Chris Williams writing this, yo. This the only brother in that meme. Canelo has not expressed interest in that fight, but he may change his tune if Crawford has an impressive performance on August 3rd against Madrimov, said Chris Mannix. He's name dropping. So we got ESPN, Chris Mannix, Mike Coppinger. He's name dropping, y'all. So Chris Mannix said this on his podcast, talking about the possibility of Canelo Alvarez potentially fighting Terence Crawford in 2025. It's obvious that Crawford, 40 wins, no losses, 31 KOs, not only must win against WBA junior middleweight champion Israel Madrimov, 10 wins, no losses. What is that? 1 draw, 7 knockouts. Oh, they're giving him he's getting the Lomachenko treatment, it seems. And Turkey Al-Sheikh's Rider season event on August 3rd, but he's got to look impressive. All right, so here we go. Do y'all see what they just did? Y'all know what clever writing is? Let me read some more. It won't work if Crawford wins listen to this. It won't work if Crawford wins a boring fight and plays it safe, jabbing, clinching, or wrestling, as we saw in some of his fights in the past. Crawford sometimes fights similarly to Shakur Stevenson, and that's not entertaining to watch when he's in that mode.
Whoa! What?
Let me stop right there. BF, salute. Do you see what this dude just did? Chris Williams? The only brother that I have on this meme? Let me show you Chris Williams, y'all. He's black. I didn't know that until like 2 days ago. That's him. The only brother there. But what else is on that page?
Monkey!
Now, for all of you Bud fans, y'all remember y'all was running around talking about y'all always hating on Bud. Y'all always hating on Bud. I'm not hating on Bud. Look at this. Look at this. Exactly, BF. That was a hell of a live you did yesterday. You see? And that's what I'm saying. You did that yesterday, and I went to the dentist. I was going to do this yesterday, but when you did your live, I said thank you. You know, because it's nice to see when we're all on the same page. Look at this. Jabbing, clinching, and wrestling. Yo, Bud is 40 wins, no losses, and 31 knockouts. You mean to tell me, in those 9 fights that went the distance, he was jabbing and clinching? Did he just compare Bud to Shakur? Let me tell you what this is. He's planting the seed. If Bud's moving up in weight, let's just say Bud can't knock out this dude. Let's just say, let's just say Madrimov has a hell of a chin and Bud don't land clean, but he wins, but it goes to the cards. Win this fight, if this fight goes to the cards, you know what they're gonna do with Bud. His power didn't transfer up to 154. This was a boring fight. If Bud's hitting this dude, it's like, all right, I hit this dude with 9 best shots and he's still here. It's at 154, but I know he's 170 right now. I'm not knocking this guy out. I got to what? Box. And let's say he smokes this dude. It's a clear, let's say there's no part of this fight that he won, but Bud was landing stuff, and let's say the power didn't transfer. So what? It's called boxing. What he's doing is appealing to the casuals. And you see, this is why I asked y'all, who are you listening to and why? Y'all remember when Tank fought Isaac Cruz? Made Isaac Cruz a star. Why? Because Tank ain't knock him out. Watch this, y'all. Y'all know Tank broke his hand in that fight, right? And I believe that because he said it in the corner. Cal asked him, what's wrong with you? He said, I think my hand's broken. And it was broken. But you know what Tank did? He impressed me in that fight. Tank boxed. Did he not? Go back and watch it. My hand don't work. I still have to find a way to win. Isn't BF, isn't that a Marine mentality? Isn't that's why they praise the Marines? Because they always think outside the box. They're the first ones in and the last ones out. That's what I heard. I don't know. Tank had to think. Diana, salute. Tank had to think. Well, he injured his hand. Yeah, he had to think. And he outboxed Cruz. He showed that Cruz can't box. That's what he showed. And I said, man, if Tank had that hand properly, he might have knocked Cruz out. Remember that? Because, yo, just me and you in it? I was rooting for Tank in that fight. I never rooted against Tank until recently. And that's because of his behavior, but y'all know how I do. Remember that? He boxed Cruz. Cruz didn't have any second gears. He was chasing Tank around. Couldn't cut off the ring for nothing. Isaac Cruz showed a lack of IQ, but the fact that he made it to 12 and wasn't hurt. Oh, he's the next big star. No, he's not. He fought on the undercard of Bud versus Errol on the co-main, and I thought he lost against Freddie Roach's kid that just got knocked out 3 weeks ago. I said, man, I think he lost that, but he got the win. I said he can get outboxed. As a matter of fact, from what I saw on Cruz on that co-main, I said, man, you know what? This Cruz right here, Ryan could get him. I said Ryan could get him. Yeah, Giovanni, that's his name. Andrew Gray, salute. I said that kid Giovanni could get, if Giovanni could do that to Cruz, I said Ryan could get him. I said that. So now, I just found out the ethnicity of Chris Williams, and look at what this brother wrote. Look, this is an article about Canelo being stripped, and he found the way to drag Bud. Please, call me a Bud hater now. I dare you. I double dare you. Dale Spoolie, what going? Texas T, what's good? Call me a Bud hater now. Look. He just compared Bud to Shakur. When has Bud ever looked like Shakur? Enlighten me. Point out the fight so I can look it up right now because I'm confused. I've seen at least 98% of what Bud has done in the ring. There's nothing about Shakur that reminds me of Bud and vice versa. Not a damn thing. But you got this brother doing this to him. And it's in writing, y'all. Khalid, what's good? You see? You see? Are y'all reading or are y'all listen, most people can read. Comprehension is the problem. This is a Canelo Alvarez and IBF article. Somehow he's talking about Bud and he's dragging Bud. Young Abel, salute. You see? Right here. Right here is where he jacked the article. This is where this is clever writing, y'all. Well, it's not clever to me because I caught it. Stormy told me about it. And I'm reading it this morning and I'm like, yo, right here, right here. But let's read on. I'm showing y'all what these writers do. Y'all ever heard of an underhanded compliment? Watch this. Raheem, salute. Watch this, y'all. Check this out. Watch this. A teacher of mine back in the day, we were talking about, we was in class and we was talking about etiquette. Bill D, what's good? And she said, she was giving us an example. She said she ran into an old college friend. She ain't seen him in like maybe 6 or 7 years. And she was in Central Park and she was walking and he said her name. He said, hey. She was like, hey. And they greeted each other with a little hug and a kiss. And the first thing he said to her was, you stopped running.
Whoa!
What? Straight to her face. And in my mind, I'm sitting in the class looking at her. I'm like, oh, she used to run? You know why? This is my high school teacher. She was cool, a white chick. I forget her name. Was it Miss Jenkins or something? But she was a little chunky. So she obviously wasn't in the same physical shape that he remembered her in. But you know what she said? She said that was poor etiquette. And he said the first thing that came into his mind is sometimes you have to be mindful of that. Think before you talk. Kids do that. But it's a kid. When you learn etiquette, you have to be like, maybe I should bite my tongue on that. You know what I'm saying? You ever saw someone and it looked crazy? And it's like, and then they say something and you have a comeback in your mind, but it's like, I'm not going to do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. But she said, you know what though? She disregarded it. They talked, they exchanged information. And she said, I got back in the gym. And she said, I used to be a little bigger than this. I was like, damn. You know what was the worst? Y'all remember FUBU, For Us By Us? Remember the clothing line, FUBU? Y'all remember when they got the rights to use the Fat Albert characters on their shirt? I didn't rock that because at the time, I'm like, what grown man is gonna wear the Fat Albert and the Gang on his shirt? I mean, the teenagers okay, but you know, I mean, they're walking around with Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck, and Fat Albert and the Gang, the Junkyard Gang on his. I'm just not doing it. But the funniest thing I ever seen, I was on the train. I'll never forget this. My boy like nudged me, dumb hard. I was like, ow, mom, what? He said, look. And I turned. There was a fat dude with an afro with a Fat Albert FUBU shirt. God damn it.
Whoa!
Go! I said, is he like Did he do that on purpose? Did he do that on purpose? Y'all remember the Fat Albert FUBU shirt? It just showed Fat Albert just looking like, and it was funny because dude was standing there, and when he turned a certain way, he looked like the shirt. I said, did he do this on purpose? Is he like in character? Why would you do that? And I know we wasn't the only people on the train that noticed that. I said, what? Come on, bro. Come on. Don't do it to yourself. Anyway, let me get back to this article. I'm trying to help y'all understand what clever writing is. Who are you listening to and why? Why? Now, casual, somebody's going to read this and somewhere there's a casual, for whatever reason, really doesn't like Bud. And they're going to refer to this. Somewhere, somebody is going to compare Bud to Shakur because of this right here. You see? It's not us. We didn't say this. I know y'all like blaming us because we're haters. Let's read on. Now, mind you, he's talking about Bud crazy, but this is about the IBF stripping Canelo, and now we're on Bud needing to look impressive in order to fight Canelo. To increase his chances of to increase his chances of landing a mega payday against Canelo, because it ain't worth nothing because no one cares about belts anymore, right? Crawford must go to war with Madrimov and fight in the trenches on August 3rd. No one wants to see Crawford playing it safe. There you go right there, y'all. This is a brother doing this, y'all. There you go right there. There you go. There you go. He's planting the seed. If Bud doesn't go to war, and if Bud cracks this dude, and he's saying his mind, boom, that one got Gamboa out of here. Boom, those right there, that's what got Errol out of here. Boom, boom, that was Green Machine right there. Boom, that was Peep. That was Amir Khan right there. So he's eating everything. I'm not gonna knock this guy out, but you know what? I can land when I want. I can box. I can actually fight in the pocket and make a miss. I'll do that. But look what this dude said. Look what this dude said. To increase his chances of landing a mega payday against Canelo, so now he's making it seem like Bud needs the Canelo payday. Because it's all about the money. It's all about the money, but it's not about the belts. Crawford must go to war with Madrimov in the trenches and fight in the trenches on August 3rd. No, because no one wants to see Crawford playing it safe. Listen, I just want Crawford to win. You never heard me call Shakur boring, have you? I've called him a lot of things. You never heard me call him boring. And I damn sure won't call Bud boring. That's a lie. He must go to war with Madrimov. How about this? Madrimov got to bring the fight to Bud. Because Bud is that dude. What are you talking about? Now, quick question, because I haven't researched it yet. Quick question, because I haven't researched it yet. One more time. Quick question, because I haven't researched it yet. I wonder if Chris Williams said that Lomachenko needs to go to war with Tank to get the respect of the fans because he was robbed against Devin. Did he say that? How about this? Did Chris Williams write an article about how Lomachenko ducked Tank?
What?
I'm asking for a friend. Because I don't know, maybe he did. And I'm going to do more research on him. I'm going to do more research. Loma duck, that's big news, y'all. Where's the haters' videos, by the way? Because anytime Devin Haney does something, they busy. I mean, if Devin Haney farts, they're going to be around to talk about how stink it was. Oh, Devin farted in the bowling ball alley, and he cleared it out. 12 videos. We're talking about something totally unrelated, and here come what about Devin's fart in the bowling alley? Yeah? That's how y'all are. So now, this dude, in order to get the Canelo payday, mind you, Loma said, money don't drive me. I'm with my family. I don't feel like it. Straight to y'all face. That's why I said, you would think Lomachenko's the A side. The way he just dictated that, and y'all didn't say anything. You know what we did? We moved on and we said, all right, well, next up should be Shakur versus Tank, right? It should be, right? But Tank is at the Olympics, and I don't know, you can't just agree to something while you're at the Olympics? What's happening there? I use that term playing in your face a lot, right? What's going on? So Loma gets to say what he wants to say, do what he wants to do. Meanwhile, he got 3 losses. Hasn't avenged any of them. So then we're looking at our brothers, quote unquote, thinking we're going to get a classic, a boxer puncher versus a boxer. We can't even get that. And they're trying to put Tank in the ring with Isaac Cruz for a rematch. That better not happen. And let me tell you, Tank fans on the sidebar, that better not happen. Because Isaac said 140. Don't do it. Don't do it. You already know I don't like Tank. I'm going to drag him for 3 days straight, and it's going to be ugly. It's going to be ugly. You better not fight. You don't even listen. Isaac Cruz does not deserve a Tank rematch. There's too many options out here. But y'all not loud about that? Y'all not keeping it honest with that? Y'all not. In fact, y'all should be on Shakur's bumper. With this 6 million, whatever's going on, y'all should be bullying him into taking that fight. And while you're at it, every day there should be a video a day, or 3 or 4, calling Lomachenko out his name. Man, it must be so nice to be that color in this world, man. It must be so nice. Yeah, you caught that, Hen Dog, right? It must be so nice to be that color. It don't matter what language you speak. You could be Russian in America and beat up a white woman, kick her dog, leave the scene of the crime, come back with money in your pocket, get arrested, and you don't even have a mugshot on file. That's crazy. Then get a DUI, and then he got in trouble on the airplane. How do you award him? A $12 million Canelo Alvarez payday. All of that, and he got a Canelo fight. Benavidez, never heard of him. See what I mean? He gets to duck out loud. He's Mexican white with red hair. Diaz, salute. Cameron, salute, sis. You see what I mean? It must be nice. It must be nice. They're not holding Canelo to no standards. They don't hold these folk to no standards. None. Ryan Garcia, because he identifies more with that side. I ain't even got to run down a list of the things he's done and said. They say he's crazy and needs help. No, he ain't that crazy. He knows what he's doing. He knows exactly what he's doing. He's doing it because he can. I want to resurrect George Floyd, delete him again, and join the Ku Klux Klan. That's what he said. That's what he said. Then said George Floyd wasn't murdered by that cop, Siobhan. It was because he had drugs in his system. He said that. Didn't apologize to the black community. Didn't apologize to George Floyd's family. Didn't even do it. There was no formal apology. Devin says they ain't gonna let no white boy beat me. We all knew he was only talking about one white boy. Man, they were about to cancel him a day later. This is happening in our face. Meanwhile, we got Chris Williams writing this about Bud, planting seeds for the fans to say, Bud gotta go to war. So now I'm letting y'all know this Saturday, if Bud can't knock Madrimel out, but he puts on a brilliant boxing performance, it's not gonna be good enough. Now, please, tell me I'm still hating on Bud. I never was. I didn't understand his business. Tell me one time when you told me where I said Bud was trash in the ring. I just thought at the time he couldn't beat Errol. That's it. I had to pick a winner and I did. I was wrong. So what? It's boxing. That happens. Didn't mean I hated on him. But you see, I understand the bigger picture. Did the hate magnify? Oh, he beat Errol. Now I go from hating Bud to super hating on Bud. No. I gave him full credit. I put up a video with footage from where I was sitting. I explained every knockdown, and I've said at the end, full credit. No excuses. I don't want to hear nothing. He whooped Errol. That's it. And this man down over here. But he got smoked. We all saw it. So now the target's on Bud. Y'all know that, right? Y'all know the target's on Bud. You see this article? And who wrote the article? Let me show you who wrote the article. The only black man here. That's Chris Williams on the lower left-hand side. That's him. That's who's writing this. That's who's saying what Bud needs to do in order to be successful. He could beat Madrimov, but if he don't look good doing it, he don't get a Canelo payday. What did I say? Stop chasing Canelo. Forget that guy. Are these brothers going to stop chasing Canelo? No. They ain't. The way I'm saying that everyone should be leaning on Lomachenko for doing what he did, everyone should be doing the same thing for Canelo. Everybody. You's a coward, man. We don't care what you do. And no shade to Berlanga. I hope Berlanga knocks Canelo sideways. I hope he lands something. I hope he lands something. I really do. Because the reality is, he should have fought, this guy, Canelo, should have fought Benavidez at least 3 years ago. And he didn't do it. He should have fought Andrade 7 years ago. He didn't do it. He should have fought Jamal Charlo about 6 years ago. He didn't do it. He didn't do it. And y'all just let him. Let's read, man. If Crawford can look good against Madrimov, that can make the fight look a bit more legitimate. So it's not legitimate. If he beats Madrimov and he just outboxes him, it won't be legitimate. At least in Canelo's eyes, said Mike Coppinger. Now, again, he's throwing dudes under the bus. At least Coppinger, or Cappinger, as we like to call him. Cappinger, I do believe they're looking at February for Canelo Crawford. Canelo is like anyone else. I think he is sensitive to criticism. Canelo's questionable choice of opponent. Canelo should have done the right thing by fighting David Benavidez on September 14th instead of using Edgar Berlanga as his opponent. That was a foolish move on Canelo's part, especially given that his last two opponents were similar to Berlanga, Jaime Munguia. Is that a criticism? Is that a harsh criticism by Chris Williams? Let's read further. That guy's entire career was built on, built with the idea of getting the Canelo payday. And then some defense opponents, Munguia were John Ryder and Sergey Derevyanchenko. Berlanga has been matched similarly, and he's utterly unworthy of fighting Canelo. Edgar, you're reading this? You're unworthy, bro. There you go. He's taking this easy fight with Berlanga in September, said Coppinger about Canelo. I think he's going to have to deliver a bigger fight next year. I think Madrimov is a very dangerous opponent. I don't think Crawford is a type to overlook an opponent, but he's going to have to look good against Madrimov first. So what they're doing here, ladies and gentlemen, is they're planting the seeds. They're planting the seeds that if Bud don't get the knockout, there's no Canelo payday. Now, they did say that the Berlanga fight is foolish, but mind you, this is supposed to be an IBF stripping Canelo article, and now it's turned into Bud needs to not only look great against Madrimov, he has to pretty much knock him out to even smell Canelo's draws, to even be considered. Now, I want to remind y'all of something. You remember when there was something called the Floyd Mayweather sweepstakes? The difference is there was no writer that I could find on Boxing 24, Boxing Scene, and there was another place I used to get news from, but I stopped going there. I forgot the name of it. They didn't write articles like this. I mean, let me be clear. They wrote articles about Floyd, but it was more tearing Floyd down. And that term, the Floyd sweepstakes, was used in a derogatory manner. That's what it was used for. That's what it was used for. Floyd needs to do this, and he needs to do that, and he got to do this, and he got to do that. And the Floyd Mayweather sweepstakes is ridiculous. And Manny Pacquiao, then he fights Manny Pacquiao, outboxes him, and then it was boring, but it was Floyd's fault it was boring. But y'all been telling us for 5 years that Floyd's boring style can be easily contradicted by Manny Pacquiao's aggressive, fast punch style in angles and awkward southpaw. Y'all remember after the fight what ESPN did? Joe Tessitore, when Joe Tessitore spoke to Stephen A. Snitch, you know a professional is out of character when he sucks his teeth. I said, did he just suck his teeth? Because Stephen A. Snitch was pro Manny, and at that time he was doing First Take with Skip Brainless, and Brainless was Team Pacquiao, and Stephen A. was Team Mayweather. That's how they did it. And when he won, they went to Stephen A. Snitch and Joe Tessitore, who was the boxing guy. Him and Teddy Atlas were the boxing guys on ESPN at that time. And when they were talking, Stephen A. Snitch said what I said. Derek Gaines, what up? And he said, look, everyone said that he had the style to contradict what Floyd did. We know what Floyd brings to the table. Y'all told us that Manny Pacquiao provided a style that would contradict and dominate Floyd. And why are you blaming Floyd for it being boring? Manny was supposed to have the style that contradicted it. It was Manny who was coming off of a loss. Was he coming off of the Marquez loss? I think so. I forget. But he said Manny was supposed to go in there and take it from Floyd. Joe Tessitore literally said, Come on. The fight didn't live up to the hype, and it's Floyd's fault. He says, no, it's Manny's fault. He said, he sucked his teeth. I was like, yo, that was hate. When you're impartial, hey, Joe Tessitore, we're watching Juventud Gutierrez versus Jose Juarez, and we have a great fight here. He don't care who's in the ring. What it was he wanted Manny to knock Floyd out, bro. That's all that was. And it didn't happen. And as soon as they cut the camera on, his mouth was all turned like he had a stroke. He was mad. And I said, is he upset that the fight didn't pan out like how people thought? Because anyone that watches boxing, we knew that fight went exactly how we thought it was going to go. I was like, this is what it's going to be. When Manny gets close, he's going to clinch. He's going to pop shot Manny. He's going to turn him. He's going to have him off balance. He's going to outpoint him. And when he put the camera on Tessitore, I said, look at his face. They didn't like anything about it. When Freddie Roach admitted, no, we could have made the fight years ago, but we refused drug testing. I was like, oh my God. 4 years getting called the N-word over YouTube. And we said, yo, to be the best, take the test. All Manny got to do is take the test. And what was we met with? Oh, if Manny agrees, Floyd will just add something or move the goalpost. I said, well, how about him agreeing first? And then if Floyd moves the goalpost, then we'll deal with that. But tell him to agree to the drug testing first. And then you remember when Manny did agree, but he said he wanted a 19-day cutoff point? Please, man. Y'all remember that? We was like, yo, They're like, Manny agreed. I said, well, what's the 19-day cutoff point? What is that? The dude don't want to fight. Y'all remember all of that? ESPN said nothing about any of that. But then when Freddie Roach said that, Benjamin, what up? When Freddie Roach said, yeah, we didn't agree to drug testing, 4 years. Joe Tessitore was mad at all of that. Stephen A. Snitch and Skip Bayless had a bet. Skip Bayless lost, and he was supposed to wear like a hat, a TMT hat, I believe. He came on the show with a TMT hat and didn't honor the bet, took the hat off and threw it on the floor or something. That's how I know that dude was. It's deeper than sports with some of these people. Normally it's them. BFTB can go to Loma versus Haney and got a bunch of Ukrainians telling him, you're just rooting for Devin because he's black. A bunch of Ukrainians at Loma versus Devin telling a black man, you're just rooting for Devin because he's black. Duh! So what? And you're rooting for who exactly? With that flag wrapped around your body? Who are you rooting for exactly? I rest my case. It's only when we do things like that, they try and shame us. Oh man, shout out to The Godfather. Because these dudes act like modern women. Shame, insult, guilt, and the need to be right. There you go. Black people, don't ever let someone tell you you just rooting for somebody because they're black. Poke your chest out and say, and? Yeah, and? So what? Nobody in my hood watched tennis until Venus Williams, before Serena. We say, wait, this young sister, she's doing what? She's breaking barriers and she's nice with it? Turn it on. We don't understand tennis, but we turned it on to support. When Serena was making history, Spike Lee showed up to the U.S. Open right here in New York in Queens. Was it the U.S. Open or was it the other one? But everybody was there in support. People talking about, oh, I don't know why they're there. I don't agree with that. Why not? Why not? You think every Mexican watches boxing? No, they don't. But let a popular Mexican come to your city and do a press conference. They're gonna show up just because. They show up pounding their chest. Familia! And that's okay. But why is it okay for them? But when we do it, oh, why are you doing that? Because he's black? Yes. What is your problem? Why are you focused on me supporting him or her because they're black? Why? And listen for the answer. Let them tell you, oh, well, you don't watch this sport. And how do you know what I watch? And how about this? I don't watch it, but so what? Why do you want a white champion so bad? Why do you allow Lomachenko to say, I don't feel like it? I just got done saying Lomachenko was chasing Devin. No, he wasn't. He damn sure was chasing Devin. He was running from Devin. While Devin was chasing Loma was chasing Tank. That's the truth. But then there were some things in there where he could have done it. My only argument with that was if Tank was an A-side this whole time, he could have stopped what he was doing and got at Loma. But I'm not on that right now. You see, here I go being on code again. And I don't like Tank. But here I go being on code. Loma ducked Tank. Where are the videos? He just said, I don't feel like it. As if he got belts. Well, he got belts. But as if he got 3 losses. Tank is undefeated. Now this brother, and I use the term loosely, he's going to start talking about Bud's lack of resume, y'all. The lack of resume. Now, how do y'all view resumes? Do y'all factor in wins and losses? Is the point of resume being undefeated, or is the point of resume who you fought in a loss to? Because it's a slippery slope, and that door swings both ways. For example, who has the best resume, Tank or Loma? I'm starting something. Careful. Loma fought Teofimo Lopez. Loma fought Devin Haney. Loma fought Gary Russell Jr. I'm just going to stop right there. Tank fought, not them. I'll just say that. Not them. And I'm talking about at 135, y'all. Don't start talking about what he did at 126. It's irrelevant at this point. You know why I'm saying it's irrelevant? Guess why? Bud is undisputed at 140 and 147. This man is about to rip Bud's resume. He's going to disregard it. He's going to disregard it. And Bud is a Hall of Fame fighter right now. Right now. And he could do something special at 154. He's about to take him apart. Meanwhile, Canelo's ducking Benavidez. He's talking about a guy coming up from 154 to 168. But Canelo told the world the only thing Benavidez brings is an additional 20 pounds. As if you didn't fight Kovalev in a knockout win. You didn't get knocked out by Bivol. You lost, but at least you did it. Why are you worried about Benavidez's weight, who can make 168? Right in your face. Right in your face. Let's go back to this article. What he says, coming off of a year layoff and moving up a division, you don't know what to expect from Terence Crawford. He needs to look spectacular against Madrimov for his sake. Listen to the wording, y'all. Now, mind you, this article is not about Bud, y'all. This is about the IBF stripping Canelo. And in the middle of this article, we're talking about Bud needing to look spectacular and how it might not happen. Crawford's inactivity, advanced age, and weight increase could be a problem against the younger fighter Madrimov. If Crawford looks great, the most marketable fight for Canelo is Crawford, because he's going to be coming out guns blazing after that fight, saying, I want Canelo. He's probably going to be ringside at the Canelo Berlanga fight, said Chris Mannix. He's name dropping again. So this dude could say, well, I said this, but I didn't say that. That was Kapinya. That was Mannix. But you're using the quotes in your article. So that means you're co-signing it. He said he's going to be hunting for that fight. Predictably, Crawford will immediately call out Canelo if he's victorious against Madrimov on August 3rd, and will start hounding him for the fight. Again, Crawford will have to look great against Madrimov in order for him to be taken seriously by Canelo and the boxing public. So now Bud is not going to be taken serious by Canelo. Bud fans, y'all deal with this. Let me ask y'all, where's Drink More Water? Drink More Water probably don't know about my second channel. I'll be back on Drew Titan in a couple of days. But somebody send this to Drink More Water. Look at this. Look. Yo, I've never said anything like this. You heard me say Bud is a bad mofo. At that time, I felt Errol would beat him. I never, ever, ever said this. Never. Matter of fact, let me go to my YouTube. Let me go to I'm gonna show y'all how I did Bud. Pause. No Epstein. I'm gonna show y'all how I shouted out Bud. But I'm a hater though, right? Unbelievable, man. Man, where is it? Damn. That's strange. I can't find it. Of course I can't find it. Sham it. I can't find it. I know I have it. Well, oh, here it is. Here you go. Let me share this with y'all. Let me share this with y'all. I'm gonna read this, but y'all don't need to see it. But let me show this. Since I'm a Bud hater, right? This is a short I did, and this is from where I was sitting in the arena. Waited the jab to the body, counter with the straight left, power jab.
Down south, back to my pot for the night.
Let's look to the sharp uppercut. That's a knockdown. Yeah, he can score Errol up, bro. Where's the hate? That was from the
crazy. I ain't gonna lie, I'm in the streets. I'm trying to stop me, baby. Tell your girl that you.
Come on, man. Don't you dare call me a hater. Don't you dare call me a hater. Don't you dare call me a hater. Xavier, what up? Yeah, I got the picture. Blue told me that dude be at all the fights. Don't you dare call me a hater. Woke, what up? Now, you know what? Let me put the article back up. Because y'all need to see that. Y'all need to see this, man. All right. If Crawford looks great, the most marketable fight for Canelo, okay, he'll be ringside. Predictably, Crawford will immediately call out Canelo, August 3rd, blah, 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 blah. If Crawford boxes Madrimov for 12 rounds in an adult fight, right, he will look silly calling out Canelo afterward. He's got to take some chances to win in this fight by slugging with Madrimov and showing some bravery. Come on, bro. They want Bud to go in there and slug with the bigger guy and put himself at risk. And this is a black man that wrote this article. Who are you listening to and why? Everybody knows that if you can't, Bud knows. Bud is gonna know. We might not know watching it, but we'll know. Yo, I hit that dude with the mean green beans punch. He's still there. I hit him with the arrow punches. He's still there. I hit him with the Gamboa punches. He's still there. I plucked him with the Amir Khan pluck. He's still there. All right. Bo Mack will say, okay, you ain't gonna knock this guy out? Nope. All right, well, you up on the cards. Box. Good, smooth sailing. So you mean to tell me if Bud puts on a 12-round shutout, there's still this article. You see what I mean? This guy wants, and this is a brother that wrote this. Chris Williams is his name. Y'all wanna know how he looks? This is him. The brother on the lower left-hand side. He wrote this. I didn't even know he was black until a couple of days ago. But I've seen the name. I've seen the name. Matter of fact, I'm curious if this is the same brother. Y'all remember on Box 24, but this same website, y'all remember the article I read where the writer stated in order for Devin to reach the pinnacle of being a rock star in boxing, he had to fight Subriel Matias, Tank, Shakur. And I said, okay. Then he said, David Benavidez, Canelo, Bud. I was like, whoa. He's mentioning dudes at 168, 147. The young man's at 140. Remember that? I wouldn't be surprised if this dude wrote that article. I have to find it again. I would not be surprised. Because I don't see anybody putting any pressure on white fighters like this. Mind you, this article is about Canelo being stripped of the IBF. Why are we dragging Bud in this article? Bud shouldn't even be in this article. It should be talking about Canelo, Berlanga, and how he should be talking about fighting Benavidez. Bud should be anywhere in this. Bud should be at the very end if you're going to put him in there. Or Bud could be an option if he looks good against Madrimov. That's it. Why are you dragging Bud? Why are you talking about what Bud needs to do? Hey, black fighters, you know what you need to do? Start freezing people out. And David, you better just come on over here with us, man. Just come on over here with us, man. BF says, who is the Asian dude at the top? He was on your live. Bro, that's Steve Taekwondo Kim. That's Taekwondo Kim. He was on your live, BF? Wait a minute. That guy? He was on your live? I missed that. That's Steve Kim. I used to call him Kung Fu Kim, and then I figured that then I found out that he was Korean, not Chinese. So I call him Taekwondo Kim, Taekwon Kim. That's Steve Kim, who's a racist, by the way. He's a Trump supporter, and when he was taking shots at boxing media, he was calling us woke. That's code for Negro. ER. The Asian dude with no clothes on. What the hell? I missed that, bro. I was at work, I can't, Bro. Yeah, you could YouTube him. Fred in the barbershop walked up on him at an event and put him on blast for something that he said. He kept clicking the link and didn't say anything. Okay, that's him. Let me see, Mr. Shelton. Let me see. Yo, I can't play that, brother. That's yeah, that's him. That's him, though. That's him. If y'all click Mr. Shelton, I can't play this. If y'all click his link, that's him. That's him. Yeah, so it's Taekwondo Kim. But you notice this article is about Canelo to be stripped of IBF title, and he's on a rant about what Bud needs to do to fight. Well, what Bud needs to do. This black man is tearing down this black man. This article is not even about him. But now we're talking about Bud. If Crawford boxes Madrimov for 12 rounds in an adult fight, he will look silly calling out Canelo afterwards. He's got to take some chances in this fight by slugging with Madrimov and showing some bravery. He already told you in this article that Bud and Shakur is the same person. And we know that's rubbish. Crawford has got to entertain because fans don't want to see a pot shot Mayweather-esque retro by an aging fighter. I'm getting mad reading this. He's nearing 40 and has never been known for having a fan-friendly style. He's talking about Bud, y'all. 40 wins, 31 knockouts. And he don't have a fan-friendly style. Straight to our face, right? As if we didn't live through the Vladimir Klitschko era. As if we didn't watch John Ruiz fight, which was an eyesore. 1-2, clinch, 1-2, clinch, and salute to him, but damn, that was hard to watch. 1-2, clinch, rub your beard in the face. What this dude is, he's pandering to the casuals. That's what he's doing. And if you don't know any better, you read this article and you come to BFTV's comment section and you get killed. You get killed. Who are y'all listening to and why? This is a pivotal article, man. Let me put this in here. And I'm going to pin it. Because this is the ammunition, ladies and gentlemen. This is the article right here. Let me pin this. This is what I'm reading. Y'all take it. Y'all save it. I'm telling you. Thank you, Xavier. Last 4 fights was KOs. Errol Spence included. But this dude just told you that he has a boring style. What planet am I on? Somebody tag drink more water. I want to know what he thinks. Even the Bud D blowers. Do y'all see things like this? Because we didn't do this. As much truth as we told on Bud, my whole thing with Bud was I didn't understand the business. But I told Bomac, I'm glad y'all got this done. I'm not a numbers guy. BFTV's a numbers guy. Fanana's a numbers guy. I'm not a numbers guy. I get dizzy when I see that. I get vertigo, like, oh my God, just give me the fight. But do the people that call us haters, do they see this? You know why they don't see this? Because it's camouflage. Because the name of the article is Canelo to be stripped by the IBF. You read the article and you see this. You see? You see? But we're haters though, right? I never said Bud was trash. I never said that. Never. I never said Tank was trash. I never said Shakur. Matter of fact, I never called Shakur boring. As a matter of fact, when they called him boring the first time, when I saw him on ESPN, when they called him boring, I said, F that kid, you won. Then the De Los Santos fight happens sometime later. I said, F that, you won. And now he fought opposite of how he fought De Los Santos. He fought in the pocket, made a miss. It was way more entertaining to me. And what does ESPN do? They show people leaving. What did I say? I said, that's messed up. You never heard me say what everyone else says about these fighters that really hate them. You never heard me say Shakur was boring. You never heard me say Tank was trash. You never heard me say Bud was trash and boring. You never heard me say that. I told you I don't deal with Shakur, especially after this fiasco with Ryan Garcia, him and Keyshawn Davis. I don't deal with Shakur. I don't deal with Tank for the same reasons. Bud hasn't burnt that bridge with me. My only, I guess, thing that Bud fans had with me was I picked Errol over Bud. So what? I picked another fighter. So what? You never heard me find a live where I say Bud is trash. His style is trash. You don't hear me say that. You didn't even hear me say Lomachenko's trash, because that'd be a lie. To say Lomachenko's trash is to discredit Devin Haney beating his ass. Uh-oh. To say he's trash is to say that Tank don't need to fight him. No, Tank absolutely needs to fight him. He was Tank's responsibility 5 years ago. And now, Tank said he's ready. Loma says, nah, I'm not feeling it. Salute, Tay D. Yeah. Now watch this, Tay D. I don't know if you just pulled up. The link that I posted, I pinned at the top. The person that wrote this is the brother on the lower left-hand side, Tay. The article is Canelo to be stripped by the IBF. And in the middle of this article, we've been talking about Bud the whole fucking time. That's a black man that did that. And this is what grinds my gears. This is what grinds my gears. Take care of my brother. And salute to my brother Eric Jordan in that strong house for a year. My brother, he said, what the F Bud has the power of the ninja sword. These journalists don't know what the F they talking about. And the N-word is called weird. And the ish don't make sense, fam. It don't. I got you right now, good brother.
Give power to my nigger sword!
So now, is it the LDBC taking the crap on Bud? No. Stormy was reading this article to find out what was going on with the IBF and Canelo, and he called me and said, hey, man, this dude named Chris Williams, I'm supposed to be reading about Canelo and the IBF, and he goes on a rant about Bud. And I'm reading it like, yo, hold on, man. What is this? Right in your face. And Chris Williams is a black man. This is about chasing around Canelo, man. Let me finish this article off, man. Y'all not gonna believe this. A knockout win for Crawford against Magomedov is what he needs. So he can't go 12, y'all. He needs a knockout. He's setting the landscape, bro. This is crazy. To get fans excited about seeing him versus Canelo in early 2025. However, for Crawford to stop Magomedov, he would have to put himself in harm's way and take a lot of heavy shots. Crawford isn't infallible. Man, wow, the discredit. As we saw in several fights, Crawford can be hurt. Look, y'all, this ain't us. Crawford can be hurt. And he might not react well to getting hit by a sledgehammer blows from the Uzbek coming off a 13-month victory lap. So now he's bigging up a dude that I've never even seen fight, but whatever. Okay, Mike Copper just says he think it'd be very competitive. Canelo looked like a faded fighter in his last fight against Munguia last May. And not only fought in spurts, he appeared to be getting tired. That's not new with Canelo, by the way. Getting hit a lot and losing rounds against a marginal fighter. So congratulations. He just discredited Jaime Munguia, but no one cares. Watch this. He doesn't have to knock him out, but he can't look like he's struggling, looking like he's out of his depths at the weight, said Coppinger about Crawford needing to look good against Magomedov. So Coppinger says he don't need to knock him out. That would make a fight against Canelo that much more difficult to sell. I doubt Crawford will look spectacular against Magomedov because he has a lot going against him in this fight. These are the problems Crawford has. Look at this, y'all. He turns 37 in September. Inactivity for 13 months. Moving up in weight. Fighting for the wrong reasons. Money. I can't believe you are seeing this. Distracted by his desire to fight Canelo, facing a huge puncher, and weak resume.
Whoa! What?
Remember when I asked y'all a while ago, how do y'all view resumes? Is it the names that they fought on the resume, win or loss? Or just the fact that you have a resume and X amount of fights and you're undefeated? Does Lomachenko really have a better resume than Tank at 135? I think he does. He might not have won all the fights. But he does. And then when Tank wants his head on the platter, he says, I don't feel like it. Wow. 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 Dirt Game Boss, salute. I thought that was about Canelo getting stripped of the IBF. I thought that he was going to talk about how it's unfair. I thought they was going to talk about, yo, man, let him hold on to the belt. He's in the Trill Will, salute. He's in the home stretch of his career. Let him defend it. But I like to see him versus Benavidez on the way out. How did we go from talking about the IBF stripping Canelo to ragging on Bud? How'd that happen? You know, you heard me talk about, I don't know, staying on code. You heard me talk about staying on code, and you see these other knuckle draggers everywhere. Ain't no code. Ain't no code. Ain't no code for, Wakandans. Running through Brooklyn with their knuckles scraping the concrete. We're too tight. I gotta go to new hotel. 78 just pumped me in the elevator. Running all around the street, making cars crash. Hiding in trees. When I talk about a code, I never hated Bud. I just didn't understand his business moves. And I said, the way he's moving, I think he's really scared of Errol. But then you find out some things. I didn't like when he got on Instagram and tried to articulate what happened with a conversation between him and Al. That's what you got lawyers for. He shouldn't have, it sounded messed off. And I'm like, bro, he shouldn't have did this. He shouldn't have did that interview. It just sounded crazy to me. It sounded crazy. The truth is, never hated Bud. I want all my brothers and sisters continued success. When is Claressa Shields going to get her due? Remember, well, let me ask y'all this. Who was celebrated more when they were on top of their game? Claressa Shields or Ronda Rousey? They had Ronda Rousey so gassed, they had her thinking that she could beat Floyd Mayweather in an octagon. They gave her an ESPY award. I think they gave her an ESPY award over Floyd. Dana White said, yeah, in boxing he might get her, but in a cage, I think if Ronda gets a hold of him, y'all remember that? And what happened her next fight? What's that woman's name? Katie Holm? Kicked her head off. Kicked her head off. And she wasn't the same after that. She tried to box. Improve something. Downhill. She's popping up in the Expendables movies, and then she went to WWE. And that was the end of that. And salute to her, because she did have a good MMA career, But my question is, who was more celebrated, Ronda Rousey, when she was at the pinnacle of her career, or the GWOAT, who's legitimately making waves? She could pack it up right now, and I'll be beefing if she's not in the Hall of Fame like tomorrow. Look at her body of work. There was a point in time where she couldn't get a fight in boxing. She had to go to MMA, which is her only loss. She's running around talking about, I want to fight men. She's not getting her respect. Claressa Shields is right up there with every popular female athlete, whether you're Olympic, everywhere. She needs to be on the Wheaties box for a year straight. They ain't gonna talk about her like that. Yeah, El Hitman lost to a former boxer. Holly Holm. I said Katie, yeah, Holly Holm. Kicked her, that was all footwork. And then kicked her head in. But this is how they do us. But when I talk about a code, when I ask these dudes, these other content creators, why are you making videos about what we say? When you got articles like the one I just pinned. Why y'all worried about what we say? This is our opinion, and our opinion are based off of the facts. Talk about what's going on. Stop talking about us. Stop being mad at me because I'm speaking on someone that you have a sexual attraction towards. Yes, Tank fans, the AJ fans. I never thought I'd see anything worse than the AJ fans, and now I'm watching these Tank fans. I said, this, no. I've never seen. Every time I'm thinking, it can't get no worse than this. Joe Townsend, salute. It can't get no worse than this. And then here we go. Here we go. Come on. Here we go. Come on. Here we go. Jimmy, what up? It's the show. Here we go. Yeah, I'm showing my age now. It's ponderous. This is ridiculous. The article says IBF to strip Canelo. They're not angry with the IBF. They're not saying, they just mentioned in 3 sentences, he should be fighting Benavidez. But they got right off of that and they attacked Bud in that whole article. But we're the problem though, right? But when I talk about code, all of a sudden, the detractors don't know what I'm talking about. I've learned that Bud fans don't follow boxing like they say. I don't read everything, but I do read some stuff. And Stormy caught this and sent it to me. She said, look at this. It's supposed to be about Canelo. This guy went on a rant about Bud and what he needs to do and how he needs to be Madrimov. As it stands right now, Bud and Madrimov have nothing to do with Canelo. Now watch this. I'm going to throw this curveball at you. What if Bud dominates and batters Madrimov, gets in the ring and says, I'm going to clean up 154. So I want the winner between Fundora and Errol. Errol wants to run it back. He got to see me. And I'm become undisputed at 154. What about Canelo? Who's Canelo? Tell him to go fight Benavidez and throws the mic on the ground and walk up. I bet you everyone's going to start calling Bud a duck. Because that's how y'all do. That's how y'all do. Duck. They're not the same weight class. It was mentioned, but y'all not in the same weight class. Bud let you know he's not scared of him, but look, he's going belt collecting. But they're going to call him a duck. If he denounces Canelo, they're going to call him a duck. You know what I'm going to say? I'm like, you can't call him that. You know why? You know why? Now watch this, and I need y'all to listen. No Errol fan could call Bud a coward for not fighting Canelo, Alvarez. You know why? Didn't Errol tell us, I'm going to clean up my side of the street and I'm going to go see him? And he did just that. He cleaned up his side of the street and he went to go see Bud. It ain't work out, but that's what he did. So if Bud says, no, we ain't going to Canelo route. We're going to 154 route. It's my third division. I want the winner of Fundora and Errol. Errol got to come see me. He want to run it back. And I'm going to be belt collecting. I'm going to clean this up. And once that's done, if Canelo's still around, then we could probably talk about it. But Canelo got Benavidez problems. And I bet you if he did anything remotely close to that, they're going to be like he's ducking Canelo. Meanwhile, he's in a whole different weight class. They'll be faster to say Bud is ducking Canelo, especially if he dominates Madrimov. Because this article, he already got him in the ring with Canelo. So let's say it works out like how Dude says, how Chris Williams says. If he dominates and obliterates Madrimov in like 4 or 5 rounds. Y'all remember when Diego Corrales first went up to... Help me out here, y'all. When he fought Acelino Freitas. Diego Corrales went up to, was that 135? It may have been 135, 130, 135, I forget. But Corrales' first fight at that weight, first or second, was against Acelino Freitas, the Brazilian dude. And Acelino was on his bike from round one, and Corrales eventually caught up to him and knocked him silly. Silly. It was on HBO. And I remember Corrales on the rope talking about, I'm here now. Knocked him out. If Bud does that to Machimov, knocks him out, you're going to have a group of people saying, well, who was Machimov? Well, a second ago, this was a dangerous fight. Bud just dominated him. Oh, yeah, now he can fight Canelo. At 168, that's 2 weight classes, not 1, but 2 weight classes up. Bud said he wants to clean at 154. He's ducking. No. They'll be faster to call Bud a duck for saying he wants to clean up 154 than they'll call Canelo a duck and him and Benavidez in the same weight class. Why? Why do you think? And when we speak up and point things out like that, see what I'm doing? He's setting Bud up. He's setting the audience up to rip Bud no matter what. If Bud goes 12 with this guy, they're going to rip him. He don't deserve a Canelo payday. I don't care. The man won. They compared him to Shakur in that article, y'all. That's why I pinned it. I need y'all to read it. Read it yourself. They compared him to Shakur. And they said he has to go. They compared him to Shakur and told him against Machimov, he has to go to war. Bars. They compared him to Shakur and told him to go to war. That's what they did. From the Bronx, it's easy. That's what they did. That's what they did. They're trying to get in his head. They're hoping that people read it and he gets to them. Oh, yeah, I have something to prove now. I got to try and whoop this bigger man down. Bud too smart for that. But I thought I was a hater. Bud's job is going there and win. Win. The name of the game is not knockouts. The name of the game is not power. The name of the game is hit and not get hit. And if you call Shakur boring and you're black, man, F you, man. F you with a lit flare. There's a few things you're not supposed to do with black fighters. One of them is call them boring in the ring. The other thing, you're not supposed to say freeze them out. Hashtag Black Murderers Row. But I say things like this and people will watch snippets of my live streams and say, oh, Drew don't know about boxing. Please. Please. Guess what? I never claimed I did. It's historians here. Scrapbook is posting his top 10 fighters of all time. Y'all been watching those? The education. Do y'all listen to Stormy when he does the Tuesday night tussle? The Friday night chop session? Are y'all there? When he's talking about the X's and O's? Or y'all running around to see what kind of braids Tank got in his hair? What's the latest on Devin Haney's schmuckery, as y'all put it? What's the latest tattoo he's getting? What's the latest jewelry these fighters are buying? Your team Tank, you don't like Devin. Your team Shakur, you don't like anybody. Your team Bud, but you're not paying attention to things like this. Your team Canelo, you don't speak English. But you rip us for supporting black fighters. Your team Lomachenko, but you're a lost N-word. Salute to Black Lies or Black Truth, whatever. I don't know what's going on with that dude. That's weird. That's weird. That's comic relief for me. There's just certain things you're not supposed to do at a principal. I never said that Loma was trash. I did say he doesn't need my help and support. He doesn't need my help. Because I know what time it is. One pro fight, they said he's the greatest thing. When I say they, I mean Bob Arum, since Ali and Sugar Ray Leonard. But you had Floyd Mayweather. You have Shakur. You had Bud. And you kept Bud away from Manny. Come on, bro. And then turn around and said you lost money on Bud. But when I talk about being on code, y'all don't hear me say that though, right? When I said Tank was supposed to take care of Lomachenko, instead of y'all say, hey, it was Floyd's fault. But Leonard Ellerby said Tank picks his own fights. And I'm saying, look, this is not going to end well. This is one big ball of confusion. And it was real funny when Floyd and Bill was going back and forth. But now, Floyd going back and forth with Tank, and now he quiet. And Floyd and Loma just said, I don't feel like it. He's going to let you N-words feud it out. Shakur and Tank. Tank better be checking his water. Tank better be checking his team. Tank better be checking everything around him because he's a marked man now. That's not hate. That's the reality of the sport. All of you that think cheating is impossible, okay. What do you think I was saying about Floyd Scarfield? You just put a bullseye on your son. If your son strings together some good victories and gets noticed, all the machine has to do is say, not so fast. These N-words got to have at least one bad night. They can do what they want after that. They need one bad night. They did it to AJ. Why do I feel this way? You got poison, my man. Wake up. You got poison. In the machine, out of the heavyweight division, they got just what they wanted. They needed these two black men to lose, and they wanted an undisputed white champion, and they got it with Usyk. Congratulations. Shout out to all the AJ fans for preventing that fight. All we wanted to see was who was the better one between Deontay and AJ. And regardless, I would have been happy. I'd have been happier if it was Deontay, but y'all goofing around and posturing because you think everything that we talk about didn't affect you. Look at you now. Look at what happened. Just what they wanted. And they're doing it again with Lomachenko. They are not going to stop until Lomachenko's undisputed at 135. They're paving the way. Now Tank wants it, and Loma's like, no. What do you think is happening? Are y'all paying attention, or are y'all just worried about tattoos and cornrows? But when I said freeze out Loma, when I said Tank was supposed to take care of Loma and make sure he was beltless 5 years ago, y'all don't hear that. When I say y'all supposed to shut up when Devin beat that dude, y'all didn't hear that. Y'all didn't hear that. So much to the fact that you celebrate Ryan Garcia talking the way he talked, doing what he did, ignoring what he says, and then Teofimo tagging on to that. Teofimo did far worse than all these guys with the ducking and the shucking and jiving. Y'all don't care. The white man got y'all trained. It's crazy out here. All I wanted was for Shakur, Tank, Devin, and Frank Martin to figure it out between them and freeze out Loma. Hashtag freeze out Loma. Now, he got some belts, man. Well, he got a belt. No one thinking about Baranchek. When the dust settles, somebody gonna get him. Main biker, salute. But I'm just talking, right? Did I say anything bad about Tank? But when I ask y'all, what is he doing pulling up on Devin at a parking lot or at a club? Like he was going to do something when he could have fought and punched Devin in the face for $50 million. What's happening? That was just a question. Does that make any sense? And the replies from Tank fans is the most ignorant things I've ever. Tank is a street dude. No, he's not. Stop. Boxing saved his life. He didn't start doing street things until he became a millionaire, which is stupid. You're in your 30s and you got an ankle bracelet on. You can't leave your house. The judge is saying, I'm going to release you out of prison, but I'm releasing you in the care of your trainer, not your father, your trainer. Because they don't trust you to do the right thing. You getting into car accidents and leaving the scene. I'm not going to go off on a tangent. I told y'all why I don't like this kid. And side with Ryan Garcia, man, that was the last straw. Shakur, same thing. I was easing up off him for a little while, and now you and Keyshawn on his Instagram live talking to him like y'all friends. Y'all forgot what he did? Or are you just worried about getting a payday? Y'all trying to pay this dude? And once again, if Manny fights this dude now, man, I swear to God, I hate all of you dudes, man. I hate all of you dudes. You want to talk about freezing out? You were supposed to leave. All right. But mofos want to call us Wakandans and stuff. This is real stuff right here. We were Wakandas and race baiting, right? I hate every last one of you.
Nigga!
I hate every last one of you. You have no idea. You have no idea. You guys are bought and paid. Y'all are bought and paid for. I don't respect you guys. And I already know what time it is with y'all. Man, there's something else going on in Olympic boxing right in y'all face, and y'all not talking about it. But I got y'all tomorrow. I got y'all tomorrow. This is disgusting. Disgusting work. And a large portion of it is actually pep talk. So let me take a moment to shout out the sisterhood, because there's things happening. The real things that y'all supposed to be paying attention to is right in y'all face, and y'all always worried about the wrong stuff, man. Man, salute to everyone in the Venmo, the Zelda, Cash App, Super Chat, Pep Talk tonight, man. Man, Bronx on deck.
Move!
Why are you gay?
Who says I'm gay?
You are gay.